Hello all, thank you for coming. This is my Q&A video, and thank you for 3,000 subscribers. I can't keep up with you, it's so good. I'm so happy about it. You're all so amazing, good lord. This video might be all over the place because it's not scripted. I didn't want it to be scripted because I truly want to be myself. So I'm just gonna read the questions, answer them as coherently as possible, and I hope that no one comes into my room. Sound good? Great. Let's get into it. Gabriel XJ9HV says, do you watch other animators, example Blunt Brothers, Jaden Animation, etc.? If so, could you name them please? Why yes. I do watch Jaden Animations. I've watched her for many years actually, along with Ice Cream Sandwich and Odd Ones Out. They do a lot of story time videos which I really want to do, so I'll be doing a lot of those actually. I also, as a kid, loved watching ASDF movies. That would be all I would quote most of the time at school. I did not have an original thought. It would always be a quote. I also watch a lot of things like Digital Circus from Glitch. I'm loving that series and I'm so happy for them that they got picked up on Netflix. And also Lackadaisy, very, very into that. For one, the main characters are cats, so that's a big plus for me. And just the story and the animation, the time period it's set in, it's just, oh, it's so good. T Mandro 2043, what you use for digital animation, and did you attend any animation classes in uni? Yes, I use Toon Boom Harmony. Apparently SpongeBob's animated on that now. Cool. As for where I studied, well, I attended the Victorian College of the Arts, yes. That's at Melbourne University. I graduated with a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Animation. And now I work at a cafe. But I seriously loved studying there. It was very helpful. It was more of a self-discovery course, if you will. You would have your tutors and lecturers there, obviously. They were amazing. But they're mainly there to guide you, and you figure out what you're good at, I suppose, and then you go from there. So yeah, it was a very good course, and I loved studying there. Hello Trinity says, have you ever considered hopping into other styles of animation by chance? Or do you plan on just sticking with what you know? Either way, I know I will be here for it no matter what. Oh, I will stick with 2D. I may try incorporating 3D into my work, but like, I don't know, 3D is so hard to do. If you haven't watched my Bunnings Day Out video, you'll see what I mean. It was not the best 3D animation, but the script was amazing. You're never going to convince me otherwise. In terms of genres, I have been told I should try short horror stories, which I quite like the sound of, because I've always liked horror. I used to film little horror films for year 10 and 11 in my media classes in high school, so I've been told I'm pretty good at it. They had good reception. So yeah, I might try branching out and doing some like short horror films, but you guys let me know if you want to see things like that. I know it's quite a popular genre, so I might try that. livixdrawsframes, how are you, my friend? How are you able to get animation commission work so easy? If it is at all easy. Okay, the short answer is they come to you. The only reason I got the amazing opportunity to work on a couple of Super Bowl ads and TV adverts for this particular company in America was because they found my third year short film, The White Nightingale, on YouTube. They were just looking for a ballet animation, so obviously they just kind of went on Google and said ballet animation, see what we can get. And they found me. And I only had 200 subscribers at the time, so I don't know if it was hard to find me, but either way. If I think about it, if I had chosen my other idea for my third year animated film for university, I wouldn't have gotten this opportunity because I was going to go with another idea. How am I able to get commission work so easily? I would suggest posting your portfolio online, especially on YouTube, because you never know who might find you. I also get commission work from just friends of friends, word of mouth, you know. So commissions can come from anywhere, and also if you don't think you can do it because, oh, I don't have the right skills or the right program, and yeah, I don't know how to do that, so I better turn down the job. don't do that. Because I did not know how to mix 2D and live action together, but we did it. I learned as I went. You learn as you go, and it can be quite stressful. But if I can do it, you can do it. How long does it take you to make your short animated videos? My shorts normally take about 1 to 2 days. A short film, however, if it's like 7 minutes long, it will take me 1 to 1.5 years if I'm doing it by myself. What animated shows do you love / inspire your work? Well, I'm pretty sure everyone can agree the golden ages of SpongeBob and The Simpsons. They were the peak of animation, honestly. The early 2000s, that was the time to be into animation, or to get into animation. You could be as weird and wacky as you wanted, and even put some adult jokes in there, which I don't really see all that often, which is a shame. I also watched Teen Titans. It was so beautiful. It was almost like my introduction to anime. It was the storylines, the characters, the inner turmoil they would have, the animation. It was all just so good, action-packed. I hope you're all realizing I'm not talking about Teen Titans Go. I'm talking about the original one. We shall not speak of that abomination. Teen Titans Go. Get out of here! The Amazing World of Gumball. That was a great show. And I think you can tell in the art style of my shorts that I was very inspired by this show. I ended up watching it completely by accident on Cartoon Network, and I was like, the voice acting is really good. Oh, this animation's so creative. And then I just really got into the show. I know I wasn't the demographic, I was like in my late teens at the time, but it's such a good show, especially the early seasons. It was just so well done, and I really, really enjoy that show to this day. Lastly, Bluey. Bluey's a good inspiration, isn't it? It's a wholesome TV show. It's gotten to the point now where it's so popular that Americans are starting to speak Australian. It's so beautiful. Yeah, it's just, they tackle so many very adult things like miscarriage, ADHD, trauma, but they do it in such a kid-friendly way, and I can only dream of doing something like that. Do you collect art books? If so, would you share your collection with the rest of the internet? I actually don't have many books. Weird considering that I am an author. But I'll show you a picture on my bookshelf anyway. I have my funky things to draw that I've had since I was 12. I've got both copies of my book that I've made, Just One Piece, available now. And my favourite book of all time, Akiana. She is a prodigy. She painted this when she was 8 years old. It's full of her paintings that are just so much better than any I've made. As a kid, I was always so annoyed that she was much better than me, but I love her so much.
This dirty rat's my inspiration. I love him.
Re-dip and 7B3F. Original. Have you ever contacted an animator before, such as Glitch or Disney, and have you ever gotten a response from them? I did contact Nickelodeon because they did have like an apprenticeship program going, and then of course they told me I wasn't eligible because I'm Australian. Racist. Yeah, you have to be an American citizen apparently to do that, so that sucks. Ludo Studios, you may know them as the studio that animates Bluey, as they are basically the only successful animation studio in Australia. I decided to reach out to them to see if there are any opportunities, I guess. They said they don't want any unsolicited ideas, so I just told them about myself and what I've done creatively, what I enjoy. Yeah, just sent them off an email, and I honestly forgot that I even sent that email until they replied to me in December. I actually got a response from them, and this was it. Thank you for reaching out to us and sending through your work, introducing yourself. We really appreciate it. Congratulations on publishing your first book. That's a fantastic achievement. Oh, thank you. Sadly, we don't have any positions at the moment. If you want to send through your CV, we will keep your details on file should anything come up in the future. Thanks again for thinking of Ludo, and we wishing you all the best in your future projects. Best wishes, Craig and Ludo team. Oh, this was amazing because they didn't have to send me a reply or say anything personalized. It could have been an automated message, but no, they actually acknowledged my achievements, and that really means a lot. So I can tell that this studio has a lot of heart and integrity, and Now I respect them even more. Second question, can you give me some tips for a beginner animator and some tips for creating a good plot or story for an animation if you can? Actually the best plots that I come up with are completely by accident. I could be lying in bed listening to a piece of music or even a random phrase that someone says. It will just trigger something. So please take my advice, always write it down. Even if it's 3 in the morning and you think, oh yeah, I'll remember that in the morning. No, you won't. Next, I would say use your own life as inspiration. There are subtle moments in The White Nightingale that strongly reflect my life if you look hard enough. You can also come up with a plot just by a doodle you make. I came up with the idea for the cat video just from this sketch that I made in a drawing exercise at uni. So really, ideas come from anywhere. Third question, can you tell me some of your struggles as an animator? So many struggles. The main one is losing work. I can't tell you how many times my program has crashed without saving or files have corrupted, but I'm begging you, please turn autosave on and save your project in at least 3 places. Another struggle, I guess, is juggling a cafe job and also having commission work to do, as well as wanting to do my own animations, as well as keeping up a social life, family commitments, all at the same time. It is quite difficult. Finally, in terms of animation, I find it quite hard animating a character consistently, like keeping their head the same size or their nose the same shape. It is something I still struggle with. So I guess try and learn from the masters of Disney and early DreamWorks, because I certainly do. I watch a lot of their tutorials and things like that. They're very useful. I'm getting better. Yo, Fergs! What's up, Fergs? How you doing? Okay, first off, what is your top 3 favourite movies of all time? Thank you for asking me this, because movies are my life, and of course it is hard to pinpoint 3. Third, I'm going to say the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I know that's 3 movies, but I think of it as a 10-hour long feast for the eyes of a film. It is... I forever will always say this is the best trilogy ever made. The storytelling, the characters, the music, the plot, the world building, it's all just so... God, you know what I mean? Second is a movie you have never heard of, Night at the Opera by the Marx Brothers. I love all of the Marx Brothers films, but this is the most well known. And people don't realise that this has one of the most classic scenes in movie history, and you have no idea. One particular part has inspired so many modern day shows and movies, and so many actors and comedians were inspired by the Marx Brothers as well. These men were the kings of comedy, and although I'm only 26, I grew up with their movies, and my sense of humour is strongly shaped by them. So I am definitely going to use my channel to spread the word about these men. They need to be recognised in our modern day, I swear. For number 1, again, I couldn't decide. So I'm gonna give you 2. I have 2 movies. I always thought of myself as a Disney child, but as I got older, I realised I was a DreamWorks kid. So my favourite movies are Spirit and The Prince of Egypt. These movies are absolute masterpieces, and I was heartbroken when I found out they didn't even do well at the box office when they came out. But I'm so happy that they have like a cult following now. It makes me so happy. But the cult needs to be bigger. We need to spread the word about these movies, you guys. We really do. If you've watched these movies, please tell me in the comments. More people need to know about them. They deserve it. What inspired you to do animation as a profession? I actually only decided to do animation in year 12. I was always fascinated by animation growing up, but I guess I just didn't think I could do it, so I completely scratched it out of possible careers that I could have for myself. Although in primary school, I actually did make pivot stick figures animations. Tell me if you want to see those. Isn't it funny that when you make a stick figure animation, it just has to be violent? Have you noticed that? Did anyone watch Stick Figures on Crack? They were hilarious, my gosh. Yeah, mine were pretty intense too. So at the end of year 11, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna try and make an animation for my year 12 media class. Mon Ami was my first animated short film. You can kind of tell the characters are really stiff and I don't know, I look back on it now and I'm thinking, yeah, no, I gotta reanimate that because it's, I don't know. I mean, you can tell I ran out of time. The ending was very abrupt, because I had no idea how long 2D animation takes. Oh well, lesson learned. What inspired you to do the Nightingale film? How did you expand on the original idea of it? Well, at the start, I was just brainstorming a bunch of different ideas, and I ended up with this drawing. So I just expanded upon it and I combined it with the idea of ballet because, you know, Paris is very artsy and I used to do ballet. Also, as I mentioned before, certain events in my life pulled me more towards this idea than others. So yeah, it was an amalgamation of things and it just grew from there, and I prefer animating things without dialogue, mainly because that way you don't have to work with voice actors. And what are your biggest hopes for the next 5 years as not just an animator but also in your personal life? Ooh. Okay. 1. Publish another 2 to 3 books within 5 years. I think that's rather attainable. Growing my YouTube channel, I would hope maybe for 50,000 by the end of 5 years. Another thing I would like to do is pitch Frederick and Roger to the ABC. They would be perfect for a kids show. Am I wrong? I mean, look at them. Yeah, I think they'd make a great kids show. In terms of personal, buying my first house. And I know that the average age for a person to buy a house is 38 these days. Can't wait that long. And I don't want to rent. Also, I want 2 Maine Coon cats. Maine Coon cats are the best. They're just giant fluffy lions. I want to hug them. I want them so bad. I would get a boy and a girl, and I would name them Wallace and Wendy. I've had those names in mind for quite some time, and not for future kids. Just my future cats. Well, that's all the questions that I can answer right now. I just wanted to thank you all for giving me such awesome questions and for taking the time to even comment them. It means a lot. And special shout out to HiroHiro2331. You are commenting and supporting on all my videos, so shout out to you. I really want to get to know you guys too, so if you want to tell me your favourite movies or ambitions for the future, please tell me in the comments, because this isn't all about me, this is about us. This is a community that I want to build, and I do want to get to know you all, so please comment anything, really. And there is one more thing I would like to say. I do want to grow this channel and start making some better and more detailed content, but it may be put on hold for about 6 to 8 weeks because I am having surgery next month, which means no computer work according to the doctor. Thank you all for your understanding. I'm sure the surgery will go off without a hitch, and I'll be back to making animations for y'all very soon. I really appreciate you watching this video, and I will see you next time.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.